Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to Bluegrass Sports Nation, the next edition of the Kyle Moore Show, live from Breathitt Pizza here in Jackson, Kentucky. Thanks again to Lee and Breathitt Pizza for letting us host here. Getting kind of comfortable here at Breathitt Pizza. One of these days we'll have a pizza here in front of us, maybe, if we get lucky. Folks, we're just going to take a few minutes to talk about last week. First, we'll welcome Caden Bowen on the show with us, and of course, Kyle. Good to see you, Coach, back with another week. Let's talk about last week with Fletcher Central. Let's talk about the things that we did right first. The one thing that I noticed, looking at film and looking at the things that we did up and down the field, we did a lot of things that college teams don't do 2-3 weeks. You know, we totaled up interceptions and fumble recoveries and yardages and a few of the things that we did right. Let's talk about that first.
Yeah, you know, we did a whole lot of things right.
Yeah.
You know, if you take the last, 6 minutes out of that game, where we had some breakdowns and some things, the rest of it was really good and was really exciting. A heartbreaking loss, and then you get home and you go through all the film this weekend. And I told the boys on Monday that going back, we're disappointed for sure.
Always.
But going back and looking at it, I was more excited going into this week about us than I've been all year. Because we did a lot of good things. And talking about on offense, we ran the ball really well. I felt like we dominated the whole game. Basically, there were a couple times late we did pick up a first down late that would have been a help, would have been a big help. But we ran the ball extremely well. We threw the ball, made some plays in the passing game, and did a lot of different things too, and get a lot of people involved and spreading the ball around. And we got so many guys that can make plays, and they're doing that for us now. Some guys are starting to come into their own, and our line played really well offensively.
You're right on a lot of things. That was the first thing I thought of was, it's disappointing for a loss. But then you go back and look at the film and you watch that first half of play, and we dominated. The line dominated. You talk about doing some things differently. We kind of built on what I thought I saw at Hazard was seeing some different people running the ball, some different people in the backfield, and making some different choices. And it seemed like it worked for us. And I thought early on we played a really good ball game.
Yeah, we did, and we did a lot of those things, and we're going to continue to build on those, and that's been sort of the plan. We've got a lot of guys that can do some stuff with the ball, and just finding different ways to get on the ball in different areas. Whether it's running it or catching it or moving some people around, and so I'm excited. As the guy that does offense, I really enjoy that. So it's fun and. I'm excited about this group. I think we've not even scratched the surface of what we're going to do, and we're starting over right now. It starts district play, so everybody's evened up now.
Yeah. Well, you make a good point. We'll talk about some district play when we come back. We'll take a quick break and go to commercial break here on Bluegrass Sports Nation on the Kyle Moore Show.
Go Time is a locally owned and operated convenience store that has all your wants and needs in one stop. We have everything from quick snacks and cool drinks, a full-service deli, fresh coffee bar, soft-serve ice cream, and milkshakes. Also, make sure to check out our Little Caesars pizzas. Go Time, where the customer always comes first. Refuel your tank, refill your cup, and refresh your taste buds, all in one stop at Go Time.
All right, folks, we're back here on the Kyle Moore Show, Bluegrass Sports Nation, live from Breathitt Pizza. Welcome in. Thanks for being here with us. We want to say thanks to Lee and Breathitt Pizza again for letting us host here at Breathitt Pizza. It gets more and more comfortable, and people are coming in, starting to know why we're here and starting to wave and say howdy, and it's nice. And if you get a chance, stop by and see Lee and tell them that you appreciate them being such a good sponsor of Bluegrass Sports Nation and everything we do for these student athletes. Moving on, if we get past Fletcher Central, let's move on to this week, and let's talk about district play. Our first district foe, the Somerset Briar Jumpers, coming into town. It's been the first time that we've seen them here in a long time, and let's talk about them. Some of the things that maybe they do different from Somerset teams that we've seen in the past.
Yeah, they're a really good football team.
Yeah.
They've got a new head coach over there, Clay Clevenger's first year at Somerset, and they're historically a really good football team anyway. And
Yeah.
he likes to run the football, and and they do a really good job. They got a couple guys that are really good runners, and they got a quarterback that throws the ball real well also.
Yeah.
So he's we've played against him. Our guys have played against some of those guys for a
Mm-hmm.
couple of years now, but a big task for us, and we got a tough district schedule, and
Yeah.
this is what you play for anyway. This is
Yeah.
everything's been
Yeah.
leading up to this, and Somerset gets the pleasure to come here to the riverbank, so that's always a plus.
Somerset, in my mind, always seemed like a good defensive team. They do always, they've always ran the ball well and they've always been disciplined. But when I think of Somerset, and that's something that maybe I hadn't thought about with other teams that we've played up to this point. But defensively, seems like their guys always they make the right decisions and they're at the right place at the right time defensively. So, that's something that I know is a challenge in any game, and it will be this week. But something you look at too, Somerset, you made mention of it, our offensive line against Letcher. I mean, you go back and you watch a play and you watch this guy, then you back up and you watch the next guy. And if you watch a couple of those plays over and over, we really dominated in that game. And I expect the same this week from our line. And I think it'll be a test for Somerset to go up against our guys.
Yeah, and looking at the film and going back, just speaking about our offensive line, they played a heck of a game
Yeah,
Friday, and I talked to them Monday about you know basically the same offensive line we had last year going against Letcher,
yeah,
and Letcher had the same defensive front.
yeah,
They returned all those guys, and last year they were more physical than we were,
yeah,
and this year it was a completely different story. So
yeah.
that's a positive thing you see going forward is the progress, and going back to some of the teams we've played a tough schedule, and we've had some stumbles along the way, and
Yeah.
that's not easy to take sometimes, and it's
Hmm.
not easy for anybody to take. But you look at I was watching some stuff the other day. You had Nick Saban's talking about never waste a failing. If you fail at something, don't
Yeah.
don't
Don't
wa-
waste it.
don't waste it. Failing can it either makes you great or
Yeah.
it makes you fold. So
Yeah.
one of the two things happens, and I think our guys are going to accept challenges and really grow from here on out.
And the thing that you talk about these games leading up to the district and leading up to Somerset coming in here and kicking off our district, the mistakes and some of the things that we've been able to correct and the things that we've been able to work on, and some of the mental things that you have to work on to get the little things right. We talk a lot about that as coaches. Some of the things that you have to do, you'd rather make those mistakes in those type games. You don't want to make them. Like you said, it's disappointing to lose, but some of those mistakes that you can correct, you had rather make it then as in a district game where it's going to cost you in the playoffs seeding later on.
Yeah, these we want to win them all. We're
Yeah,
we're greedy.
yeah, yeah,
We're disappointed anytime we lose, ain't we, Caden?
Yeah, we are.
But we you gotta learn from those, and those and the reality of it is it's disappointing to take a loss, and especially like we did last week when in my opinion it was more self inflicted than
yeah,
getting whipped.
yeah,
But you those things are going to happen, and those games leading up to district play are pretty much practices and just to try to tune ups and try to get things lined out the way you want it to get. And sometimes it takes a little longer to get where you want to get there. But
it does.
our guys have just continued to work, and they're just a great group of guys, and it's encouraging and exciting to watch them just keep working.
Well, you talk about learning from mistakes and talking about failures and people getting better and the progress that they make and the things that they start to do right and we start to see less of those mistakes. And 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 I was thinking today about guys that have gotten better already in two or three games. And I thought Gibby had a great game running the ball, and we're going to talk to Caden here in a minute and brag on him. But there's so many guys that looked better even in a loss last week. You can look at them and see that they've improved and know that there's improvement there. It's not where we wanted to be for the week, but we're in a good spot looking back at mid-season. We're in a pretty good spot. The guys have grown and progressed and they're looking great.
Yeah, our guys, you can look across the board. I've seen improvement from several guys
Yeah,
from week to week, and then we just continue to grow and get better, and despite some losses and
yeah,
things, and that's that's just it's a great thing to see and a testament to our
yeah,
kids. And Kate, it was great to see Caden out there again.
yeah. It was.
He's been a big part of our program for such a long time, and we're also close, and grow up with these guys. me and Elmer played ball together since we was little up there at Wick.
Yeah.
And we was on the same little league team and all those things. So it's just it blessed me, made me feel good to see
Yeah.
him out there and
Yeah.
get to see him get back in action for his senior year.
Well, I started thinking today, and I writing names down, and I thought, it's going to be unfair because I leave somebody out, and I made mention of Gibby and of course Caden, but there were so many guys that improved, and I did. I started thinking about some people and jotting some names down. I said, no, sure as I do that, I'll leave somebody off. So, but folks, we'll take another quick break here on Bluegrass Sports Nation, the Kyle Moore Show. We'll be right back with our senior spotlight, Mr. Caden Bowling.
People's Bank is proud to continue to invest in the Bluegrass State. Our team has years of experience right here in Eastern Kentucky. By partnering with People's Bank, we provide solutions, not just products. Our vision is to be the best community bank in America, and we would love a chance to earn your business. People's Bank, working together, building success.
All right, folks, we are back. Bluegrass Sports Nation, the Kyle Moore Show, here from Variety Pizza in Jackson, Kentucky. Thanks again to all of our sponsors that are helping bring this show to you, as well as the ball games. And we got so many great sponsors throughout the year that help us. And it's all about what we're doing in this next segment. It's all about bringing you student athletes and talking about them and putting a spotlight on them. And we get to talk about this next guy, Caden Bowling. Caden, welcome to the Kyle Moore Show. Like I said, with Wheels and with Dealman a few weeks ago, and it's just it's an honor for me as a coach to have coached you at a young age, and I never dreamed that I'd be sitting at a microphone beside Kyle Moore and getting to talk to you in the
Yeah.
senior spotlight. So, welcome to you, and just tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us how many years you've played football, your mom and dad, and where you grew up at, and so on.
My mom and dad's Elmer and Elizabeth, and I grew up right down the road from Wig, so about 5 or 6 minutes right down the road. And I've been playing football since I think it'll be my 9th year.
Yeah, I got Caden, and I talk about this a lot. Caden was one of those guys on that team that we'd go into the huddle, and I had about 5 guys there telling me, "Hey, coach, they're doing this. Coach, you got to look at this. Coach, look, this will work. Coach, throw me the ball over here. Coach, let's run it over here." He was one of them guys that offensively, as a young lumberjack, could go up the line of scrimmage and tell me what was going on or knew what was going on when he came back to the huddle. So
Yeah, you
they
got me and Dylan and Isaac in that huddle arguing about where to go.
yeah, wanting the ball. They never argued over the ball, but
Oh,
they would. Caden was one of those guys that would always tell you what he thought would work and where it would go, and we had a lot of fun back then,
yeah,
didn't we?
we did. A lot of fun.
Those were some good years. I tell you what, you guys put so many points on the board. The year or two after that, we had some real hard times finding games after those guys were graduating from lumberjacks. What do you do in your spare time? What's some of your hobbies? What do you
I
like
like
to
to
do?
squirrel hunt mostly.
Squirrel hunt?
Yeah, and fish a little bit every now and then.
A lot of you guys like to fish. A lot of y'all got
Yeah,
that in common. Keep them pay lakes hot, or do you fish?
I fish pay lakes every now and then, but I'm more smallmouth fishing in the river.
What about school? What's your favorite subject?
I like math.
Oh man, that's a
I'm
tough
pretty.
one.
I like to think I'm good at it, anyways.
Well, me and Kyle, we'll go order a pizza and we'll let you and Matt talk about math. That's not one of my favorite subjects.
It's not mine either, Rob. Not my strong suit for
No.
sure.
Uh, so you've been playing for about 9 years, and in that time, I think we had you in the backfield and defensive back mainly. Tell us, tell us about maybe your favorite position that you've played or that you play.
I'd say my favorite position would be running back.
Running back,
I played every position on defense.
yeah,
Went from
linebacker,
middle backer my freshman year to playing corner one game my freshman year and to strong safety in the corner this year.
yeah.
Been all over the place, but I say running back my favorite.
Well, that's one of the strong points, not just the senior class, but a lot of our football players are very versatile and can play all over the field,
They are.
and you're definitely one of them. Tell us, as a senior, what it was like, and it's probably difficult. I've never been in that situation, but tell us what it's like to get that injury and have to sit out and miss a few games, and then to work constantly to get to come back.
It sucked.
Yeah,
It
it's
did.
tough.
It's just it really was all in my mind.
Yes, Yep.
I had to just mentally prepare myself back to just keep on doing PT every day like I should have been doing. I went 3 or 4 days a week at a time. I just sitting there thinking for a week I couldn't get to the doctor. I just wait for the results. Just
Yeah.
stress and more stress, and
Yeah.
I didn't know what was going to happen. If I was done, if I was, it's just a lot of stress put on me at first week I got injured.
I'll tell you, young man, you answered that very maturely. That's you couldn't have answered it any better if I'd have scripted it out. It's a mental. Like I said, I've never been there, but that's a mental
Yeah,
situation, and 99% of life is mental.
it
And
is.
to come back from an injury and step back onto the field and be ready to go, and to perform the way you've performed. I mean, you did great last week and had a good week back at running back, and good to see you on the field defensively too. Um, what's it like having to take that first hit after, or give that first hit?
It feels good. It feels good.
Folks, you can see why I love this guy, Caden Bolin, the senior spotlight. Caden, have you got anything else you want to share with us before we move on?
Nah, that's about it.
All right, but we appreciate you. Love these guys. I tell you what, Caden and this class of